Welcome to the American Farm Boys.
So before our onions turn into this, they start right here in February as little seeds. These are little onion seeds that we're planting in this plug tray. This one got bumped, so they're kind of scattered all over. So these guys are fixing them, moving them around, putting them in the plugs they're supposed to be in. We'll have to fill in some of these empty spots. But we start here as little seeds, and eventually at the end of the summer, we end up with this.
You see two spots in, take that one out and leave the other one alone. You see, and Papa just bumped this.
Grandpa bumped it?
Yep.
So this is kind of where it all starts, is in these plug trays. They come in a box, and we get them separated out. There are 288 cells in each one of these. We fill these up with dirt, and then we plant the onions in them. So Evan's filling them with dirt. Doesn't take very much. Get them all filled, and then we kind of tamp them down just a little bit, just get them deep enough that the seed can drop in there. So they end up looking like this, where we've got a little bit of depth there, and the soil's firm, and that's what the seed will get planted into. And go down these edges and just kind of get them separated from each other like that. Okay, and pull it out. It's important to make sure you get it on all the edges, though. If you don't get it on all the edges, then they get bound and stuck together. Okay, and stack them over there. Yep, make sure you go every other so they don't stick back together, because that's the pits. Redo what we just did.
If you say it's together, right, Mama? You want it to like this. See, like that? That's how it's together.
Good job.
You want to organize it. You don't want to be messed up.
So after we get them filled, we'll smash them a little bit so we get these divots in there so the seed can sit down in there, and then eventually they'll be covered over. But this is the seed. They get one seed in each cell, so we have one plant in every cell. There's some of our pelleted seed. This is our vacuum planter that we built. It uses vacuum to suck the seed onto these little holes. There are 288 holes spaced out to match these trays. Build all this ourselves, because that's just the way it works when you're a little teeny farm. So once they're planted, they look like this. You got a seed in every hole, and then we move them over here and fill them up. And that's what Porter's working on right now. He's really getting to be a good helper. So he's going to take the dirt and cover it over, bury those seeds. And then he's going to take his pipe and roll it down, smash it down so it packs those seeds in, so when they first get watered, they don't get washed out of the soil. And then straight off.
Clean these edges off.
Yeah, clean their edges off so we don't get dirt scattered everywhere. Yep, like that. Very good, bud.
And that's all clean. Then put it.
Very good. what you're seeing in the seed, that part is just clay.
What?
The seed's inside. See if I can hold this camera and do this at the same time. But if we can crack that open, then we'll see the seed. The seed is a little bitty black seed. Here, come over here. So that is our seed. And it's covered with clay. It's called a pelleting. And if you break that open, that's why you have to handle them gently, because when you try to break them, then they're hard to do. But if you're not careful with them, they'll break apart easy. See all that clay coming off of there?
Yep.
And then you see that black part in there? That's the seed. So you pellet them to make them a lot easier to handle. See, there's the seed, right? That black part right in the middle. You don't want to focus on it. Makes it a lot easier to handle and plant. Makes them, cause see, it's not a uniform shape. They're kind of like a rock, just kind of a random odd shape, and they're pretty small. And those are really hard to handle when you're planting. So you pellet them to be able to plant them easier. It's sure not showing up on the camera very well. Not sure why it's not wanting to focus on that, but anyway, that's an onion seed. That's what the seed really is. So the rest of it's just
clay.
Just clay to get it planted easier.
You guys hear that? It's just clay. That's all it is. Back to onion planting.
So to get our soil ready, it comes to us in these white bags. We get it from our cousins that have a greenhouse, and we put it in this mixer. We built this mixer ourselves for mixing soil. It comes as just peat moss and vermiculite, and then we add fertilizer and water to it, and we use this mixer to mix in our fertilizer and water. Comes out the bottom, and then it comes over here into either one of these boxes to fill up trays. We've already done because we've been doing.
Say that again, Braden.
1 scoop of fertilizer per mix.
And you said 1 per bag.
I'm gonna look up this text.
No, you called me and told me on the phone.
Did I?
Yes. So we've been doing 2 scoops per mixer load. So these are gonna be some high horsepower onions. They're gonna grow really good.
Alrighty, we're coming putting onions in the greenhouse, and Daddy and Wyatt are hauling them out. We do not want to drive here because it's just rough and that snow makes it hard. So try to drive on these little paths. Coming up with a very, very full load. I'll show you what the normal load is compared to the other load. Come down this path. It's gonna be kind of a squishy move. Move. We move some stuff because we put trays right there. You can't get the hand truck down a path all the way to back there of the greenhouse. We have to have it clear that and come down all the way down here. We won't go past that. We're gonna go up the road and all the way up here. So yeah. Oh, the camera.
What are we doing, Mother Key?
I put a hand truck with Daddy.
Are we working together? What's that called?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Gotta love teamwork. All right, we're hauling onions out of the building into the greenhouse so we can get them watered and started. And you're probably wondering why we go to all the work of doing transplanted onions and hauling them around at the expense, because it's definitely a lot more expensive to do transplants. But today is a perfect example of why. It's the middle part of March. You can see we got a lot of snow on the ground. It's been snowing. It's cold, but we can get our crop started. This is the beginning of a 6-month process, and this gives us a jump start on that. So we get a couple months of growing before we could be out in the field planting. So we do transplants and we do direct seed, which is when we plant the seed out in the field instead of in these trays. But this right here gives us a jump start to where we can start digging onions quite a bit earlier than in the fall and late summer, really, rather than waiting until the fall like we would have to for the direct seeded ones. Next snowstorm's coming in. Gotta hurry quick and get these onions in so we get things shut up, get the water turned on for them, and get them growing. It's go time. The 2025 season has begun. There's a big edge right there. Oh dear. Whew. Hard to do it with one hand. Okay, well, they're all in here. Everything we just brought in today, down to the heater. These we brought in a couple days ago. We got the water going on those. Love these sprinklers. They are a lifesaver. But this begins the journey. This begins the 6-month journey from a seed to an onion. And it takes about 6 months for these to be ready. So here we go. Wyatt, did you like helping with onions? What's your favorite part?
Planting them.
Planting them? Do you like bringing them out to the greenhouse too? Is that pretty fun? You're a good helper. And just like that, it's back to sunshine. Snowstorm's headed that way. Getting a few flakes. But back to nice weather. You never know what you're gonna get in Cache Valley in spring. Well, early spring. March isn't really spring, it's still mostly winter, but it's starting to feel like spring.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.